Talking with My Doctor. Life Lessons by RCB.
Jokes about doctors abound, and many imply that some doctors seem to believe they are infallible. And it may be true of a small proportion of doctors. I need to state my position from the outset. My doctor does not have a God complex. He's been my doctor for roughly 30 years. He is only too aware of the dangers of overconfidence and knows too that usually there are lots of possible causes for our ailments. Recently, I went to see him about my rosacea, a condition that causes redness and often red pus-filled bumps on the cheeks, nose and forehead. When I asked what causes it, my doctor readily admitted,
Nobody knows. Your guess is as good as mine.
Wikipedia agrees. The cause of rosacea is unknown. Risk factors are believed to include family history of the condition. Factors that may worsen the condition include heat, exercise, sunlight, cold, spicy food, alcohol, menopause, psychological stress, or steroid cream on the face. Perhaps Wikipedia might have included such possible causes as smoking cigarettes, using a cell phone, watching too much television, using the wrong bath soap, exposure to advertising, petrol fumes, climate change, swearing too much, smelling roses, or wearing hearing aids. My doctor estimates that around 1/3 of the patients who visit the clinic are past retirement age. In other words, they're 67 plus. Are you specialising in care for the elderly, I ask?
Not really.
My doctor explains.
Some of my patients have been with me for over 35 years, so it's kind of a natural progression. They've aged with me.
It is certainly the case that his patients are very loyal. They like the fact that he is courteous and honest and concerned with their welfare. And many are quite fond of his wicked sense of humour. I remind him of his answer to my question, what can I do to make sure I'm healthy in my old age? His answer came from left field.
I have 3 pieces of advice for you. 1. Whatever you do, don't break your hip. Breaking your hip, and sometimes it happens out of the blue, is a reflection of frailty. It's a harbinger of imminent demise in perhaps half the people who do break a hip spontaneously. 2. As far as possible, stay out of hospital. Again, not because they are inherently unsafe places, but because being there is a reflection of dis-ease. And 3. Whatever you do, keep away from nursing homes.
He realised, of course, that such advice is not terribly politically correct. What he really meant by that is, you need to look after yourself. Keep yourself fit and well. Make sure you eat well. Make sure you interact with other people. Keep yourself occupied. I'm really saying prevention is the best cure. If you can avoid breaking your hip or having to go to hospital, then that's clearly for the best. I'm not suggesting that people avoid hospitals at all costs. So, I asked, what are the main ailments of older people? He rattled off a list in quick order. Most elderly patients end up dying from old age with multi-system failures. Bones weaken and decay. Memory fades. They suffer terribly from arthritis. They have cardiovascular problems. And then there's a general decline in their overall capacities. And they lose muscle mass and strength. The technical name for this is sarcopenia. And to top it all off, they lose the capacity to interact with others. Asked, what are the main killers of older people? He answered,
Old age, dementia, cancer of one sort or another, strokes, heart problems, and infectious diseases.
So what can older people do to counteract and avoid these things? I asked.
There are 3 key things, apart from the general advice I gave earlier. Firstly, I can't stress it more strongly, the importance of keeping socially active. Interacting with other people is perhaps the most important thing of all. Secondly, it's important to have regular contact with healthcare professionals. Make sure you are checked regularly for things like blood pressure, a range of blood tests for cholesterol levels, iron levels, thyroid function, sugars, at least every year or even twice a year. And thirdly, maintain a healthy diet and healthy exercise.
I remind him that when I turned 80, he suggested that I should fill out an advanced care directive. These were instructions for my doctor and my family. I had to describe what kind of care I would like and what to do if I collapsed or became demented.
Yes,
He said,
it is a very important thing to do while you are still alert and active and thinking clearly. In other words, while you are still of sound mind and body and while your memory and understanding are functioning well. The Advanced Care Directive provides a clear insight into how you would like to be treated as you approach death.
Finally, we discussed the question of euthanasia. I set the ball rolling as follows. I want to talk about some recent developments with regards to euthanasia. As I understand the situation, doctors in Victoria were not allowed to even raise the issue of voluntary euthanasia with any patient, old or young. It has to be raised by the patients themselves, and a fair proportion, around 60%, are unaware that euthanasia is legal, but they have to ask for it.
Yes, that's the case.
Recently, however, I went on, there have been moves to allow doctors to discuss with their patients the options for euthanasia.
This has just been passed in Parliament, but will not come into effect for almost 18 months. But at present, euthanasia is only available, 1, if the question is raised by the patients themselves, 2, if they are of sound mind and over 18, 3, if they are unlikely, even with the best treatment, to survive beyond 6 months and are experiencing suffering that is unacceptable to them. It will still not be accessible for dementia-related illnesses in Victoria. That is how the matter stands at the moment.
We had run out of time. I thanked him for talking with me so honestly and so passionately. He's getting on now. I asked with some trepidation, "Are you intending to retire soon?" His answer gave me some comfort.
Not in the foreseeable future, but who knows?
Indeed, who knows?
About RCB. RCB is a retired teacher. Each month, he provides meandering tales based on his lived experience. This article was read by Rebecca Rose,
James Poyner,
Adrian Rice,